everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So tonight I'm in the kitchen. I wanted to show you guys how I make my salmon. I've mastered the art of perfectly cooked salmon, and I have found some seasonings that go really well with the flavors. So I'm gonna share with you guys how I cook it step by step and what seasonings I like to use. And then also I'm gonna kind of just briefly show you guys how I make the sweet potatoes that I like to have on the side with this. So that way if you wanted to recreate this, you could have the complete meal of salmon and sweet potatoes, how I do it. And one of the seasonings that I'm gonna be using tonight is this everything but the bagel seasoning. It's from Trader Joe's. I no longer live near a Trader Joe's. I did when we were in Arizona, so I no longer go there. I order it off Amazon, which is a little bit more expensive, but I buy like a few at a time. And I love this stuff, so I will be using this tonight. So if you wanna see how I use this to create the perfect salmon and the most tasty sweet potatoes, very healthy, guilt-free meal, then just keep watching. So when you guys are watching this is kind of in the reverse order. I'm putting the potatoes at the end of the video. So if you want to see how to do the potatoes, just keep watching towards the end. But I'm putting the salmon first because that's in the title of this video. So I'm going to do that first. But just know that currently as you're watching the salmon go in, the potatoes are in the whole time. Typically I prep the potatoes, put the potatoes in the oven, and then do my pan steps for the salmon. So, okay, so to season the salmon, I'm going to be using this olive oil from Cave Creek Olive Oil Company. That's in Arizona, Tuscan Herb. And almost all olive oil companies, if you have one near you, have like a Tuscan Herb. So I use that. And then I also use this everything but the bagel sesame seasoning blend. And this is a blend of sesame seeds, sea salt flakes, dry minced garlic, dry minced onion, black sesame seeds, and poppy seeds is the blend. And it is really good. And I just so happened to find out that it was good on salmon. I tried it after trying it on my potatoes. I went ahead and just tried to add it to the salmon, and it is seriously so good, you guys. And then the last thing that I use is just lemon juice from a fresh lemon. So first, as I'm prepping the salmon, I'm going to actually heat up the oil in the pan. So I will just put a little dollop of regular olive oil in the skillet and put it on medium heat and let the skillet just kind of heat up while I'm prepping the salmon. Okay, so we are ready to toss the salmon. This is a farm-raised salmon fillet, and I have cut it into 3 pieces. I always request that I get a larger, thicker fillet, so that way I only have to buy 1. That's kind of a money-saving tip, honestly, because I used to buy 2, and it would be like $20, but I just bought 1 large one, and this was only $11, and I'm getting 3 fillets out of it. And these are pretty good size fillets. They're pretty thick, so I just cut it with these kitchen shears into 3 parts, and then now I'm gonna toss it in the olive oil and the lemon juice. I just drizzled the olive oil, and I'm going to just squeeze a ton of lemon juice. Okay, now that these are nicely coated in the oil, it does look a little bit drippy, but that won't all go into the skillet with them. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle them with the seasoning. And I'm pretty generous on this because when you put them in the pan, some of this is gonna come off. So I'm pretty generous on the seasoning because I do want it, even if it falls off, to be nicely seasoned. So our oil is hot. So you're gonna place the salmon skin side up in the skillet. And I can typically fit like all 3 in here. So what we're gonna do is let this kind of cook until the salmon is cooked halfway through. And I'll show you guys what that looks like in just a second. When you have one thinner piece, this one of course is going to cook faster, but what I do is I wait till the thickest piece is halfway. You can see from the side, well, it's actually cooked a little bit more than halfway. That line that you see should be about halfway. I missed it because I'm filming, but as soon as you see that line a little bit over halfway, you're gonna flip it. You're gonna flip it over. So I'm gonna cover it. I've turned off the heat. I'm gonna cover it and steam it for 10 minutes, and then it will be ready to go. And you can add about 2 to 3 extra minutes if you want more well done salmon. Mine got a little bit more well done on that side, so I'm probably not gonna add that 2 to 3 minutes, but I usually add about 2 additional minutes. So, but this one, I think I put the heat on 6, and I usually do 5. So just note to self, it got a little bit poppy because I was doing so much prep time with filming for you guys. But I promise it's awesome. I'll show you guys what the final product is in just a few minutes. Okay, so really fast for the sweet potatoes, I start out with about 5 large Sweet potatoes, I peel them and then rinse them. No need to scrub the outside because you're gonna peel the skin off and then rinse it. And then I like to cut the potato into circles like this and then chop it into 1/2 inch to inch squares. So I actually ended up stopping after 3 potatoes. 5 is probably more for like a family of 4, but there's just 2 of us. So this is like 3 large potatoes. And then I have my pan with foil and I have sprayed it with a little bit of olive oil spray just to make sure that they don't stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 400. And while that's preheating, I'm going to toss these in the seasoning. Okay, so first I'm gonna toss these in olive oil and then I'll spread them out on the pan and then I will sprinkle some seasoning on top. Okay, so they are coated. So I just kind of like spread them into a single layer on the sheet. I'm sure this is not a official cooking method, but this is home cooking method. So once these are in a single layer across the pan, I'm going to take the everything but the bagel seasoning and sprinkle it on top. I like to do this after putting the potatoes on the pan, just because I can make sure it's evenly distributed across the potatoes so that all of them get a little love. So they are ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna stick them in the oven at 400 degrees once it's preheated for 20 minutes. And I usually flip them over at about 10 minutes. And then right at the end, I turn the broiler on high so that way they just get a little blackened on top, a little bit more crispy. I'll show you guys the recipe up close just in case you wanna take the screenshot. It's not really a recipe because this doesn't include the seasoning, but this is just more like the cooking method that I use. And I'll also include the directions on the sweet potatoes down in the description box below. Okay, so my husband likes the potatoes like extra crispy. So in order to achieve that, what I do is after I've boiled it for a little bit, I will remove the aluminum foil and then stick them back in without any of the oil that's sitting underneath, because usually after cooking a little bit, that oil kind of settles onto the aluminum foil, and that's fine if you like that texture, but he likes the extra crispy. So if I'm trying to do that for him, I will remove the foil right after I've broiled it for a little bit and then put it back in the broiler until we get some of this like darkness on all the pieces. So just a tip if you like the extra crispy. Okay, we are all done. So the sweet potatoes are in. This is such a good pairing, you guys, if you're looking for a healthy lunch option or a healthy dinner option. The salmon is not fishy at all. It tastes so good with those seasonings, and the sweet potatoes are an awesome pairing and a healthy way to eat a potato. I'm totally a potato girl from the Midwest, so sweet potatoes are my healthier option. So I think that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!